Hi, my name is George and I'm a 30-year-old game developer from Ukraine who currently lives and works in Austria. I'm a full-time game developer and I have been dealing with Unity for about 10 years now. During my career, I have worked on a bunch of different projects, both in 2D and 3D, game-related and not game-related. From my project, I can say I did bullet hell game, board game, airplane landing simulator, bunch of hyper casual games, and bunch of slot games. A month ago, I started a personal project and I decided to share my development process with you guys on YouTube. I'm working on a multiplayer game, board game, with programming elements. I was heavily inspired by BattleBots series from Discovery Channel and the board game Robo Rally. I used Unity and Photon as my tools for development, and also some other plugins that I will probably talk about a bit later. I use Trello to manage my tasks, and I use Plastic SCM as my repository of choice. The game will have a board that consists of hex tiles. There will be different kinds of tiles, like, for example, holes, rotation tiles that will rotate your robot, or move tracks that will move your robot among the track, and tile add-ons such as mines, checkpoints, and walls, which will block your players from moving or shooting. A player will program his robot for 6 turns in advance, and once all players are ready, the game will play itself. The turn consists of multiple layers, such as robot movement, then tile execution, then shooting, then checkpoint check, and then winner check. The first robot to visit all checkpoints in correct order will win. The way I did multiplayer in this game is pretty simple, and I use Photon for everything I do there. Each player has a deck of cards, a hand of cards, and discard pile. I synchronize just these 3 things and basically play the game on each client separately. The way I do it basically helps me to avoid synchronizing robot positions, different actions getting executed. Since everything is local, I don't need to care too much about multiplayer at all. After the first months, I'm getting close to my version 0.1. In this version, it should be pretty much a playable level where I can play with my friends and try all the functionalities that I have implemented. I still need to do menu placeholders, game lobby, win screen, level selection, back to lobby screen, sound effects and music. I'm also planning to do 3 first levels of different difficulties, which are utilizing the stuff that I did. For example, different tile types and tile add-on types. I'm planning to have multiplayer with 2 to 8 players in a game, create around 30 levels of different difficulties, add sounds, particle effects, add single player puzzle mode, and leaderboards. The main focus will stay for now on the Windows build, and if I get to that point, I would like to port it to mobile and consoles, of course. So let's see the project now. I will start one in Unity, and the one you see is actually a build. It's starting, I'm pressing multiplayer, and I'm pressing multiplayer here. Yep, now we can see that here is our project. It says U. There is an enemy, which is another player. Now I see the problem that I can't see the text from this far away, but it's not a big deal. We can see holes. Actually, there are tiles right here, but you can't see them because they're made as holes, so robot falls off the border of the area, board area. Otherwise, they would just get stuck. We can see checkpoint 0, checkpoint 1, holes in the middle. This is resurrection point, so when robot falls off and dies, it will be resurrected there. And there is a track, which is basically pushes you when there is a turn for the tiles to be executed. It pushes you in the direction of the arrows. Yep. So here's my cool procedural sky, which is not that cool, but it's fine. You can rotate your camera, use Cine Machine, and I will adjust it per level so you can see whatever you want. I'm thinking about having 2 different camera modes, so in relation to center of the level and in relation to player, but that's for the future. You can see your hand down here. So I have move backward, move forward 3, move backward 2, move backward 1, move forward 1, rotate clockwise 60, rotate counterclockwise 120, rotate clockwise 120, move forward 1, and move forward 4. Right now I'm rotated to the right, which sucks. So I guess first things that I would like to do is move backward 2, so 1, 2. Then I would like to rotate counterclockwise by 120 degrees. So I'm here, I will rotate here, here. And then let's say move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I guess let's rotate. No, let's autocomplete, because when I press start and I only have 3 cards, it will autocomplete until you have 6, but not from your hand and from your deck, which you don't see right now. And all unused cards will go to discard. So I press start, and I will press start also on the other client. I did it, and the game starts. So move backward, you can see the highlight of the program. Then rotate, yeah, that was a laser shooting. Rotate it, now move forward 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. After every card there is a laser shooting. And you can see that this robot died. And I'm here. So everything went as planned. I'm usually too lazy to actually test on both of them, all the movements, but cards are working perfectly. When one robot shoots another robot, he will get repair card, which will basically make his deck worse, because repair card more or less means take top card of your deck instead of this one. So you can't plan your actions. So what I did here, let's switch to Unity. Here I have a menu. Yeah, here's my Unity. And let's see what I have. I have robots. I have them pre-spawned in scene, and they're not spawned per client. They're always there. I will just enable as many of them as I need. And on awake, if it's your robot, then camera free look will be attached to this robot. We have a controller. Basically, that's an object where I put all the general things that control different aspects of the game. So for example, I have a level generator where I can set just level name and width and height, and it will generate a blank level for me with all blank tiles of this width and height, which is very handy because I would hate placing hexes next to each other. Game Manager has a list of robots. It controls a bunch of stuff actually, but we'll talk about it later. Deck Manager, here you can fill the initial deck. Basically the cards that you get in the beginning, not in your hand but in general, are all here. So for example, if I want to test tracks, I will just say I have 9,000 fatal error cards, which I use as stay at your place cards right now, and I can just stay every turn, and I will be moved by track only. Okay. Yeah, there is general menu UI. Also, there is menu UI for in-game. Here's my level, which consists of starting tiles, basically one tile per player, and respawn tile, which is the tile where the player respawns. You have to set up. Why it's not okay? Set up a tile add-on respawn to set up direction on this tile. So when two robots get respawned on the same tile, that's the direction where the robot that already stays there will be pushed. And here you can see tiles. We have types of tile. Right now there's holes, rotations, and move tracks. And we can see that if I, for example, change it to move track, we have additional parameter. That's the direction where it pushes. And there are add-ons, so I can add an add-on: wall, door, checkpoint, energy mine, and respawn. That's what I have for now. And they have their own parameters. So for example, I can enable wall on every part of the hex for each turn. So there are 6 turns, and I can, for example, make the walls rotate by enabling them at the correct time. That's it from the project setup, I would say. It's not that heavy. Here's my scene. You can see that there is nothing really difficult for now. Let's see some code. Let's go to scripts and let's see. Let's start with enums. I guess I don't need Visual Studio for that. I'll just show my code here. So those are my enums. I prefer to use enums over everything else. We have robot action types. That's basically the cards that robots can execute, and the cards that you get on the bottom part of your screen. Here is the list. World orientation. So basically, no matter how your robot is rotated, the movement is based on orientation. So there are 6 possible orientations for a robot for this world, and I just get them from here. It's easy to iterate, so I can just go left 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and I can do it in a list if I want to rotate somehow. Tile type: move track, blank, basically everything I already mentioned, and add-ons. Level, just static. It has a reference to itself for others, and list of different things such as starting tiles and respawn tiles. Nothing special. Let's see. Game manager. So we synchronize the player readiness. When there are 2 players ready for now, then we basically start the game. And what I spawn using Photon is robot cards, which is deck, hand, and discard, things that are synchronized. And that's how I define which robot belongs to what, because robot cards are assigned to robots. And when every player presses start, here's basically what we do. So we set up robots, so they have their tile assigned on which they're standing, and basically every turn they reset their state. What I do next, I highlight the card that is used right now, then I destroy it after I execute the command for every robot. I highlight it only for mine. Then I execute tile commands. So for example, move track or rotation. Then we do shooting with lasers, which will add additional cards if you get shot. Then we check for checkpoints. If the robot is standing at the end of his turn on the checkpoint, then it adds, if it stands in the correct checkpoint, it adds it to the list. And we check if somebody won. It's all coroutines, it's all sequential, all the actions that it actually calls. So if we go to execute robots, it more or less executes everything and waits for it to be executed. Same for tiles, same for shooting. It's very organized in case of sequencing. There are different events, so other things can react on different things happening in game. And there is also some logic which tells you that, okay, you need to get new cards, or take top card from the deck, or put everything into this card, which is handled by deck manager. That's more or less it. Robot cards more or less just synchronizing the deck, as I said. So my plan is to add some more stuff, like, let's say, my plan is to add some more stuff. So for example, I want to add music, I want to add some more menus to make it more game lookable, and I want to extend the functionality for now. So in the next video, I hope I will have some progress. My girlfriend promised me to make some cards so I don't just have texts. Making a game is time consuming and also can hit your finances. I'm okay with development and design part of the game, but my modeling and texturing skills are pretty low. I wouldn't consider them sufficient for the game development. So at some point I was going to either find someone for rev share or hire a freelancer that will help me with graphics. I'm also planning to hire a concept artist to make an art that will help me feel the game, because right now it's not very pretty, of course. To fund that, I was thinking about maybe making a Kickstarter later, or just using my personal savings to deal with this problem. So if you have any ideas for my game, comments or suggestions, feel free to share. I will be glad to hear from you. Please thumbs up for this video and subscribe so more people can know about my game. And see you in the next video.